Okay. This is the fourth attempt. The last time train went by. You might not have heard it. I don't know, but I didn't want it in there. Okay. What I want to talk to you today about, this is a 12 weeks to peak video, by the way. Wes Schaefer has reopened it for 2023. He and I recorded a podcast about it for the Cold Start Project. It'll come out probably later this week, maybe the 19th of January. Check that out. Describes everything. It's a free accountability program for salespeople, founders, people who have to talk to other people. And I can describe, I'd say fairly that I doubled my income in 2022's last quarter because I was in that program lifting the weights and doing the muscle work that needs to be done to become a better salesperson. And you all know it wasn't that bad already, right? So anyway, today's question: are you willing to ask the big, scary, uncomfortable question? Now this, Jason, oh my God, I could scare the prospect away. Yep, you could. But the thing that I have to say about that is they probably shouldn't have been there anyway. Okay. I've been in the online marketing world a dozen years. I get very few refunds, like one a year, okay, by serial refunders who buy and then go, oh my God, it's the end of the month and I need rent money, and they refund everything they grabbed and tried to throw into the bucket over the last month because they have no belief in success in themselves. It's all out there, So you don't want that kind of person in your program. Okay. I'm going to give you an example. We've got let's say an agency program that supports folks who want to found an agency. So it gives them all the systems, processes, methods, software, stuff like that to support creating an agency, lead gen, SEO, web design, something like that, right? Okay. If I get on a call with somebody who's like, in answer to my "hey, why are we here" question, it's like, I don't know. I've been looking. I want to start my own business. I've been looking at maybe an Etsy business or Amazon drop shipping or an agency or whatever. I'm like, whoa, you probably shouldn't be here. Okay, is what I'm thinking, because in the back of my mind, I know they haven't committed to being an agency person, and it's not my job to convince them to be an agency person. This is what you, and I think a lot of salespeople, need to understand. Okay. I don't want to drag somebody kicking and screaming across the finish line. You know why? Because they're going to refund. Okay. They're going to be one of those customers who emails you at 7:00 on a Friday night after you got the sale and goes, Jason, I don't know about this. Okay. I think I want a refund. I don't ever want refunds, and my people stick. And when there's more to buy from the organization that I'm working for, they tend to stick around and buy more. Okay. Buy 2, 3, 4 things with me. And I've proven it over the last 3 months, especially 4 months, I guess, So point being willing to send them away. Okay. By the answer to this question. So if somebody comes to me and they're like, I don't know, I'm thinking about maybe an Etsy business, or maybe this or that, the other, like, that's not an agency business. Okay. An Etsy or a Facebook based, I don't even know why I'm saying that, but like an Amazon based business, you have to learn the platform. You have to learn Etsy, right? The syntax, what they allow, what they don't allow, how you can lay it out, how to use their search engine and get results with it, right? That is not the same skill set as running an agency, right? And an agency has so many other open questions. What are you going to sell? How are you going to do your prospecting, right? Who are you going to work with? All these other things, right? Rather than I'm going to make some handcrafted thing and sell it on there. And yes, I know you can sell digital products on Etsy. There are ways to do it. You have them buy a PDF, but let's stay away from that for the moment, okay? But the point was, somebody who gets on a call with me who demonstrates they don't have clarity on their desire, right? And it does not line up with what we're doing, right? I'm going to ask that uncomfortable question. What are we doing here? Now, when can it work for you? Friday, I had a call with a guy who has invested $20,000, $30,000 in other businesses, starting an e-commerce business. He kind of bought a business in a box. They gave him an LLC and a product and a bunch of other stuff and that, but it's stalled and he can't do anything right now about it. Right. And I'm like, what are you doing? Right. The uncomfortable question was, do you have the time and energy to do an agency business? Right now, There's a part of me that goes, well, the guy needs cash flow and he needs something that he can put energy into that's going to move forward while this other thing burbles along, right? And you can't do too much with it right now. So that was my uncomfortable question. And in the beginning, the answer was, yeah, you're probably right. I probably don't. Okay. And then I showed him through the program and all what it was about and how it was going to support him and how we were going to make it easy for him to move ahead, because he's the kind of guy who busts his butt and makes some money. Okay. And then at the end, he still said, when I said my usual hardcore close, what do you want to do next? Right. Well, I don't know. I still, like, he needed to be told that he could go ahead, that he had permission to go and buy this thing. Okay. He's probably watching this right now. And it's the right decision. It is the right decision. There's a guy who I am not dragging, kicking and screaming across the finish line. There's a guy who's not going to refund. There's a guy who's going to love the information that's in the program and employ it, get it to use. All right. That's the key in this case, to help provide clarity. And if he had answered, you're right, I'm really focused on this e-commerce business and that's really what I should be spending my time on, we would have had a 10-minute call and it would have been over, and we would have respected each other, right, and gone our separate ways. Okay. When that happens, it's a good time. Like when you've got that person who's like, well, I'm looking at 1, 2, and 3, and they're all different, and I'm not really sure, right? That's when it's good to have some free stuff to give them, a free report or a video series or something like that, to show them this is a solid answer to how do I make money, or what do I want to do with my life, or something like that, right? If the person comes back with an answer of, well, I've been talking to 3 coaching programs that profess to support agency owners, and I want to find out which one's the best for me. All right. That I fully accept that. I'm working on this program, which means I believe it's the best, and I've seen a lot. I have discernment, right? So I'm able to say that. I wouldn't be representing it if it wasn't the best, and I'm going to have some reasons why. And I don't want you talking to those other 2 guys anymore, but you have shown me that you have decided that this is the path you want to go down. Okay. So being willing to ask that uncomfortable, disturbing question that could send them running for the hills is the gap, right? Your willingness to do that, or lack thereof, is the gap between you and becoming a more effective, high-performing salesperson. Okay. It's very, very important that you get comfortable with this and willing to do it. I'm willing to send anyone away anytime. I got 5 calls on my calendar today, starting in an hour. And I think 2 of them are qualified, and the other 3, I don't know, and I'm willing to send any of them away. It doesn't matter to me, right? Whether this individual person buys or not. And some people won't like that. They'll be like, oh no, as a closer, you have to clamp down and try and get that money. And that's not the kind of person I want to work for. That person's going to get refunds. That person's going to have dissension in the group. If they have group coaching, a Facebook group, people talking online, they're going to have bitching and moaning in there. Okay. And so I can tell when I'm looking for somebody to represent, right? Oh, I want to stay away from that one. Or if I'm in the group and I see everyone's happy, maybe they're confused and asking questions like, how do I do this? Or I didn't find this, or whatever. That's okay. But they're all trying to move in the same direction. They're all trying to ascend and achieve, right? That's good. Okay, that's an indicator. So again, willingness to ask the question that's scary and uncomfortable. Are you sure this is for you? Do you have the time to do this for real? I mean, I get a lot of trust out of my buyers, and there's a very good reason why. I am looking out for you. I really don't want your last $500. I really don't want you involved in a program that you can't achieve with. I don't. And selfishly, think about it this way, it reflects back on me if I drag a whole bunch of people in and they don't achieve, and they go out there and they start bitching. Yeah, Jason sold me into the program, but it didn't do anything. It sucked. And I'm not there to defend myself and say, well, they probably shouldn't have been in there in the first place, and they didn't put in the effort or whatever. Nobody hears about that. Nobody cares about that. Right? They hear that frontline reasoning. So my people should be in there. They don't refund. They're very happy. right? And they do the work because I have filtered carefully for them to make sure, yeah, this is the right thing. Now, it's not my job to convince anybody of that. All right. It's my job to provide clarity, and good questions provide clarity. So when you're in a situation next and you get that, back of your mind or upfront gut feeling of like, I don't know, this person's really a fit about, ask the question about it. Be brave, right? The worst that happens is they go, yeah, you're right. And they respect you for not trying to talk them into anything. Now, some cynical people will say, well, that kind of person, they're going to give the money to somebody, right? They're going to spend it on beer or cigarettes or whatever, right? And you might as well sell them your thing, right? Your cigarettes, because they're going to buy it. No, I don't want to be involved in that, and I don't want to be morally responsible for it. No, no. I want people in the program who are committed, who understand the investment, who can continue to make payments, not just that initial payment and then default, right? I see that a lot. It's not good, right? And then they're paying $150 on a $7,000 program because that's what they can afford this month. And good for them for trying, but they shouldn't have been in there in the first place. And a guy like me would football block you with the uncomfortable question. I probably wouldn't even give you an offer. You might not even know that I've already identified that you can't afford this thing, right? It's just not for you. But asking the uncomfortable question when you see it, when you go, I don't know, can you commit the time and the energy to this? Or are you just looking around and it's what, like, it tells you as well as a salesperson, should you be investing time and energy in this person? When a person shows me they're interested, educated, eager, right, to pursue this subject, I'm going to spend more time with them, right? If they're, I don't know, airy fairy all over the place, and there's a lot of you they're like that, holy cow, right? My inclination is to send you away with some nice videos. Now, coaches of mine will go, Jason, you spend way too much time with people. And I do, because I want you to succeed. Okay. I want you to succeed because when you buy something through me and it works and you succeed, right? You work and you succeed. You're going to say nice things about me too. And you're going to come back and buy more. So yeah, it's kind of selfishly motivated, but it's smart, selfish, right? Not greedy, selfish, right? You winning does not take anything away from me. It enhances what I'm doing. Thank you very much. It's a very different point of view than what you will encounter out there. And so use your discernment, use your power of questioning to ask those big, scary, uncomfortable questions. Now, there are other situations in which this will work for you to your advantage as well as a salesperson. If we look at the Challenger sale, that is what it is all about, right? Driving that impactful insight, that valuable insight early on in the conversation for that prospect so that they go, oh, Jason made me think about this in an entirely different way. And that's how you steal orders away from other providers who may have nurtured these people for a long time. I've had it happen to me and I've done it to other people long before I ever learned or knew what was going on, right? How it functioned. Now, I try to use it a lot. All right. Asking the big uncomfortable question can make people stop in their tracks, get out of their comfort zone, right? Get out of that mechanical rotor of thinking that they're often stuck in the hamster wheel of the same thoughts day in, day in, day in, day in, day out. Most people are really stuck that way. Everybody's got it to some degree, right? We're stuck in a pattern. And you can break people out of that with that uncomfortable question. And they may get scared and run for the hills, or they may come to you for a solution that was 10 times the dollars of what they were thinking about beforehand, because they now realize that this is the way. All right. I'm going to stop there. What I said probably sounds like nonsense to a lot of you, and contra money making to many others. Okay. It's worked very well for me. And I encourage you, when you feel that, I don't know, right, about a prospect, or, I'm really not sure. There's this where you're at, and you could get there, right? Do you believe it's possible to make that leap? That's a scary question, because the person could say no. They could realize no, because you've called it out and brought it into the sunlight, right? And then they go away. Well, I would rather know that and not go through the dog and pony show of, let me show you what I got, and all that crap. I've actually said that on calls. No, I don't do dog and pony shows. I just don't, right? You don't get that until, I'm sure, that's the thing between you saying yes and where we're at, right? If all things be equal, all you need to do is see that this thing's legit on the inside, right? I'll spend the 10 minutes and show you it. All right. But that's very, very short. And that's not the close. The close happened back there. Okay. That's something that salespeople need to realize too, is the close happens far earlier in the conversation than they tend to think. They tend to think they're the superhero and it happened at the end with this huge closing thing. No, a person wouldn't have gotten to that point if things hadn't been set up right. Okay. I'm going to stop there. Video is probably too long as always. I'll see you later.